Now, JetSmartFilters isn't just about filtering anymore. It allows you to create listings and items on its own, apply filters to them within the same listing filter builder, and style everything visually with the built-in style manager. That means one plugin can now do the job that used to take several, and it's all created on a new block-based builder inside your WordPress dashboard. So expect ultra-fast performance and a cleaner workflow. Let's jump in and see how it works in practice. So with the new release of JetSmartFilters, you'll notice a brand new option in the plugins dashboard. It's called Listing Builder. First, head over to Settings and make sure that in the JetSmartFilter General Settings, JSF Listing toggle is turned on. That's what enables the new provider we'll be working with. Now let's click the Listing Builder button. This is where you'll manage everything related to your items and listings, and you'll find quick access buttons for both in the top right corner. Essentially, items are templates. These define how a single entity like a post, product, or page looks. You can think of them as the JetSmartFilters version of JetEngine listings. Listings, on the other hand, are the settings that group multiple items together, so similar to listing grids in JetEngine. Clicking those buttons will show you all the items and listings you've already created, which in our case is none yet. Alright, let's move on to the Items section and click Add New Item. The editor is right here. It opens instantly right inside the same dashboard view, and it is the core element of the listing filter builder. Here we can use some standard WordPress blocks, but now with JetSmartFilters 3.7 you also get a set of new dynamic blocks introduced by the listing filter builder. Let's quickly go through them. Listing field renders any kind of text data. It can pull values from object metadata, custom fields, or the website's option page. You can also use filter callbacks and modify the output format here. Listing image displays the image source dynamically. Listing link handles dynamic links, and it's a perfect solution when you need the link and its label both to have different sources with dynamic data. Listing terms outputs taxonomy terms related to your item. By default, term labels are linked to their archive pages, and you've got options to reorder them in the block settings. If you have ever worked with JetEngine dynamic blocks for Blocks Editor or equivalent widgets in Elementor and elements in Bricks, this will feel instantly familiar. One more thing worth noting, each of these new blocks comes with its own styling settings panel. You get full control over layout, color scheme, and typography, and since dummy content is visible here, you can fine-tune your design immediately. No extra plugins required. And notice this, when creating this item, we didn't have to commit to any specific content type like you would in JetEngine. Even if we used custom fields from certain entities as data sources, the template itself stays flexible. That means later you can apply this item to any relevant content type, posts, products, or custom post types, anything that fits. Let's save the item and move on to creating our listing. So in the listings section, we'd normally see any listings we already created, but since this is our new one, let's click the New Listing button at the top. Here we can enter a name for our future listing, and right below we get the Listing Builder interface. It's divided into 3 tabs: Query, Layout, and Item. The Query section works just like a mini query builder. It defines what content will appear, how many items per page, and in what order. And how many and offset options are right at the top, nice and easy to use. Then we've got the Order By settings, where you can sort results by date, title, and other metadata. Next, we see Post settings to choose exactly what type of content we want to fetch. In the Post type dropdown, you'll see all the WordPress essentials: posts, pages, media, as well as custom post types created with other plugins. In my case, there's a custom post type called Ads made with JetEngine. We can narrow the results further by post status, author, or by including or excluding specific posts. There's also a toggle called Ignore Sticky Posts. It simply tells WordPress whether to respect posts that were manually pinned to the top of the blog or treat them like regular ones. And if you need something more advanced, there's an Advanced Settings section to filter posts by taxonomy terms or custom field values or both. Now moving to the Layout tab, this is where we define how our listing will look. You can set the number of columns, spacing between items, and responsive behavior for different screen sizes, all right here. And finally, the Item section. Here we simply choose which item template this listing will use, and you'll see the one we just created in the drop-down. You can also start creating a new item directly from this tab or quickly jump back to editing the existing one. So inside the listing settings, we define which template is used for what content type, but the key difference from JetEngine is that these templates are universal. You can reuse the same item for multiple content types without creating separate listings from scratch, like building a single template that works for blog posts and news. And since both structure and layout are handled right inside the same builder, you can build and preview everything faster than ever. Now let's add our listing to a page, and from this point it's super easy. Inside the page editor, simply look for a block called JSF Listing. Then drag it right onto the area where you want the listing to appear. In the block settings, pick the right options from the listing drop-down, and that's it. We've already configured everything earlier: the query, layout, and item source. So once you select your listing here, it's instantly ready to display content.